What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Slackers, bringing you guys our next matchup in the upgraded tournament. I guess, look, I recorded this before the ARMS presentation, so, the Springman, Ribbon Girl, Twintel, Ninjara, Min, did one of them get upgraded to playable? I have no idea. I'm recording this in the past, so I'm very excited. The ARMS presentation is today. Well, it was earlier today. Okay, it's a weird time frame. Whatever. We're back for the upgraded tournament. We got the new matchup, new results, and it's all cool. So it's a bunch of if you're new, you're wondering what this is. 48 characters are put into a tournament based on the premise of being upgraded into a playable character. So only assist trophies, spirits, costumes, stuff like that were allowed into this tournament. So yeah, without further ado, we got a few rules to go over. Don't worry, they're very simple to follow along with. Alright, rule number 1, you gotta be open-minded for this tournament, because again, upgraded characters. You know, is that a possibility? Sure, it could be a possibility, but we don't know either way. Well, maybe the ARMS rep told us. I don't know. Either way, you gotta be open-minded for this tournament. Otherwise, next rule, you only get 1 vote per person. Keep it fair that way, only 1 vote per person. How do you vote, though? Simple, down in the comments, type the name of the character you were voting for. Pretty simple, right? Yeah. And remember, yes, you can vote for both characters. That is totally fine. Just simply type the word both down in the comments. The rest of the rules, though, double elimination tournament, meaning the character has to lose twice before being officially eliminated. Once we get to the results to determine the winner and loser of each individual match, if there happens to be a tie in the votes, we're going to flip a coin on camera. Fairest way to break a tie. Then each matchup, voting-wise, only lasts for just 1 week. Those are the rules. Let's get to the rest of the video. Alright, let's get to the results from last week. So the matchup from last week was Ribbon Girl, who was taking on Rex and Pyra. And again, keep in mind, this is recorded before the ARMS presentation. If Ribbon Girl happened to get announced, well, she's going to be replaced with a different character. I just have to see. I don't have your answers because, again, this is recorded before it. But if any of the ARMS characters that were in this tournament happen to be the playable character, they will be replaced with somebody else. That's how that's going to go. But before we get there, let's go over the results. And the winner ended up being Rex and Pyra. 30 votes to just 15. So Ribbon Girl, if she's still alive, she's in the loser bracket now. If she happened to get revealed, she's going to be replaced by somebody else in the loser bracket, though. That's how that's going to go. So congrats, Rex and Pyra, moving on. And Ribbon Girl, or potentially Ribbon Girl's replacement, is in the loser bracket. But let's get to the match today, which happens to be Funky Kong from the Donkey Kong series, who happens to be taking on probably one of the biggest underdogs in this whole tournament, Tethu, or Tethi, depending on which gender you choose, from the Ever Oasis series. So let's start things off here. We got Funky Kong, good old Funky Kong. I love Funky Kong. Great personality, just he's outgoing. He's kind of really easy to like, you know. You gotta get he's different. Yes, he's gonna have like the same build as Donkey Kong. Cool, use that as your base model for your for DLC potential character development. That's the way you go, and then you twist it and mold it into the surfing version of DK. Funky Kong. If you're doing Funky Kong, whether it's an Echo Fighter, I mean, if it's just a straight up Echo Fighter, then you can't really have the surfboard. But if you're gonna do Funky Kong, and you happen to go down the Echo Fighter route, he's gonna be semi-Echo. You have to get his surfboard in his moveset. Whether it's his dash attack, whether it's an up special, whatever it might be, whether it's a smash attack, swinging around your surfboard, I don't know. Whatever it is, that better be a part of his moveset, because that's what a lot of people know him for. So, fun story. Would Funky Kong here real quick, would he make a good character? Would people like him? And I will harken back to the Mario Kart on the Wii. That was the one Funky Kong was in, right? Does anybody remember that? Remember playing that? Playing online? Personally, like every time I jumped online, there was somebody playing as Funky Kong. I can recall several times that I'm playing online, and the whole lobby, myself maybe included, most of the time I play Waluigi. Come on, he's my favorite character. But most of the time, it's almost a full lobby of Funky Kongs. People were drawn to this character. People liked this character. So putting him in Smash Bros, I think, would be pretty big. It's not a character by any means that's going to get a ton of hype, a big reveal. It's not going to be character. It's not a character people are really clamoring for. Because again, like, here's something to throw at you. If the Fighters Pass Volume 2 happens to be kind of, how should I say, lower, man, I don't want to be disrespectful, but like characters that aren't AAA worthy. Does that if that makes sense? So lower characters that are lower on the totem pole. So for example, Funky Kong. He's not one of the ones that's being talked about a lot, right? If at all. Maybe, you know, he's probably got his fair share of followers, but they're not making any noise by any means. So what if Fighters Pass Volume 2 happens to be kind of, again, no disrespect to any characters, but lower on the totem pole characters? What if they happen to kind of just be, all right, we'll put this character into the roster, whatever it might be, maybe Smash Bros. Volume 2, the Fighters Pass, maybe it doesn't have a big budget for DLC. I don't know. Has Sakurai ever mentioned, do they have the exact same budget that they did for Fighters Pass 1? If so, they ran out of money pretty quickly, didn't they? They spent a lot of money early on. So maybe going the route of a bit more first-party characters as well could end up helping Funky Kong's cause in this case. I don't know. Either way, another Donkey Kong country, or just another Donkey Kong character in general, I think it's warranted. DK series, been around with Nintendo for a long time. Always still has games that pop out to the day. Tropical Freeze, it's one of the few games on the Wii U that was good. Got ported over. Like, cool. It's great. Funky Kong even got his own funky mode. Come on. If that doesn't say what Nintendo might think about the character a little bit, I don't know what will. But Funky Kong would definitely be a funky character. Anyway, what about his opponent? Now, interesting opponent here. Tethu or Tethi, depending on, again, the gender you choose when you play Ever Oasis. So, basically, it's a brother and sister, and, like, I believe the plot of the game is whoever you choose, you kind of like go through the story and you got to try to figure out what happened to your sibling. I believe that's the kind of the idea of the game. But let's talk about the character. So, smaller character, you see like here's a cool little mock-up of, you know, against Young Link. So I guess you could say right about the height of a Young Link character, maybe the same sort of speed. But Tethi character, skilled swords person. So, great, swords user. Okay. Don't worry. There are definitely other options and potentials for movesets. And another thing possible with the moveset, and this is why this is a kind of a good comparison. Tethu and Tethi, they have a boomerang. Use Young Link as your base model. Like I was saying, use DK for Funky Kong. Use Young Link for Tethu in this case. Got the boomerang. You're gonna have the sword. Pretty close, if not identical height-wise. Maybe Tethu, I don't know if they're probably the same hitbox-wise, I'd have to imagine, or pretty close to it. So you got your base model right there going for it. So you got your boomerangs, you got your sword attacks. But Tethi, again, here's a little picture. Well, that's probably big, but there it is. Depending on, I guess it's not depending on the gender, no. But other moves, the character is skilled with, is a wizard, so you got some mages, you got, and there's an attack that you can, like, kind of summon out like a tornado, so that'd be kind of cool. What's the item in Smash? Is that the Orb Club I'm thinking of? You charge it up and you fire out a tornado. So maybe you could do something like that. I don't know if that move would be able to be charged up similar to that attack, but if you know how the Orb Club, I think that's what it is. But if you know the item that I'm thinking of, where you kind of hold there and sit and charge it up, so the longer you charge it, the bigger the tornado is and the bigger the knockback. So maybe you could have that for in Tethu or Tethi's moveset potentially. Whatever it might be, side special, side smash, I don't know. Maybe you're able to charge it up, bigger tornado. That'd be kind of fun, right? It's something that's in the game that you can kind of put onto the character for their moveset and then just kind of tweak it a little bit to make it feel a little bit more like it's coming from that character, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of assets in Smash Bros. That work with a lot of characters that just aren't in Smash Bros. So they got a lot of base stuff. So like, I don't know if that will come into consideration when choosing a character by any means for Nintendo and Sakurai. Do they have a lot of base assets at their disposal that they're like, hey, I could put this, and this already into this character. We have a good chunk of this already. Maybe we could just go ahead with this character. And if you happen to be a first-party character, it makes the decision probably a little bit more easier. Or maybe that's a way you could approach a third-party publisher or company. You're like, hey, what about getting your character in? We have a great idea how the character can work. We got some assets they can work with. Whatever it could be. I think you could make a case for Tethu or Tethi, and you could also do the on the character select screen, the 4 and 4 for male alternate skin, and then 4 female. So it'd just be kind of a cool little nod to the series. But for this one, I do think there's some potential with Tethi. I can't go against Funky Kong's awesome. I love Funky Kong. I'd prefer Dixie Kong get in before him for a Donkey Kong rep, but Funky Kong would be really awesome to see. So he's got my vote. Let me know who you guys got down in the comments. Tethu, Tethi, or Funky Kong. Or both. Totally fine. Anyway, that is it. Sneak peek for tomorrow. The matchup for tomorrow is going to be Tom Nook, Animal Crossing, taking on Kamek from the Yoshi series. And then the results are going to be from Dry Bowser, who is taking on Zero from Mega Man. That is it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you enjoyed the ARMS presentation earlier. And yeah, hopefully catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.